Good evening, everybody. Good evening, teachers, ma'am, sir. Good evening, all. So we'll start now. I welcome you all to this webinar holding the topic Wildlife, a Priceless Treasure. Bhattacharya sir to join us and please share his valuable knowledge about bird watching. We are very need to know that. So please. So it's not audible.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I think I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Naik and Dr. Vera, and to my all friends. It was really a very heavy session by Dr. Naik. So much of research and so much of information. It is really too good. And see, basically, I am going to show you some slides which are out of my experience and which I can, share my certain field experience also. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'll quickly go to slides. I think I have been sandwiched between two heavy people, Dr. Bera and Dr. Naik. So my slides will be kind of recreation. I need, see, this webinar, no? These are all as a kind of single way traffic. So I need little more, reciprocation from the participants also. Whenever you find any thing you need to ask, so you need to raise me a hand, and or else you can come up, open your mic, and ask me. So that will be more better for my presentation. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll start my presentation. Shati, is it visible, my screen?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. Doesn't come?
Yes, it's buffering. So wait for a minute.
Has it come?
No, sir.
Why it is not coming? Sati, once it comes, just let me know. Why it's not coming, I don't know.
Yes, sir, I'll let you know. Sir, please try presenting one more time.
Chari, I am trying it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible now. Your screen is visible.
The screen visible. Okay.
Yes.
Has it come?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This presentation is showing, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, just put it on a full screen.
Yeah, I've done the full screen.
Okay, sir.
It has come, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll start quickly. So I'm going to tell you about what is bird watching. Why should we watch birds and how they are beautiful, how they are interesting. I think many of us, many of our friends who are interested on the birds, so they will find it interesting too. So telling something about me, already it has been said by Swati. I have been introduced. So I'm a mechanical engineer with 25 years of experience in project execution management and presently working as consultant to Tata Projects Limited. My passion is nature and wildlife. My hobby is bird watching and I am founder of Wildlife Conservation Research Forum. We work for forest fire, eradication of forest fire. And I'm the member of Nature and Wildlife Conservation Society of Orissa. This is a government of Orissa body. And I am also member Emergency Network Relief Network, that is Wildlife Trust of India. Okay, so quickly I'm going to the slides. What I'm going to show, why and how to know about birds. Why should we know about birds? Birds are interesting. How do they fly? These are interesting, right? How do they fly? Where do they live? What do they eat? What do they choose? How do they choose their mate? So these are all interesting. So once we get into this subject, everything will be interested. Everything will be interesting to us. So now birds are beautiful too. What made them so look beautiful? Why the peacock is so colorful? These are the questions they come in our mind. And now birds are inspiring. How they inspire us, how and why they migrate. So that is inspiring. How a small bird can fly long distance. These are all inspiring. Okay. And they are also fascinating. How do they build nest? How do they build their nest? Even if a small bird in your backyard, in your garden, the maybe on the hedges of your garden. So they build a small nest and with help of household materials. So that is fascinating. That is more interesting. So now coming to this, why watch birds? Why should we watch bird? How it is going to help us? So these are all integral questions which come in your mind. So that can be answered like this. It sharpens your sight. The more you watch bird from a distance through a binocular, or more you watch birds on the trees, you get up in the morning, sit on your balcony and watch the trees. Where are the birds? There are good, beautiful noise of birds. You watch them, so you watch green, and it sharpens your sight. It gives a power to your eyes. Okay, so now second, it encourages you to explore the world. So you explore the world through bird. If you see a bird which is sitting on the ridge of a pond, and you find that bird is it looks interesting, so you'll have to find out how it came here, from where it has come. Then you find a book and you see that, you Google it. So you find that bird has come from the Mongolia. And then you go back. Where is Mongolia? Oh, okay. Where is Turkey? Where is this? So you explore the world, basically. It gives you something to write about. So now you saw a bird and you take a photo of that bird, put it on the Facebook, and you write a beautiful sentence below that, and you send it to your friend, you tag it to your friend, so it gives you something to write about. So that gives you a boost up basically. It makes you an authority in the neighborhood. Yes, this is something very important. It makes you an authority in the neighborhood. If you are watching bird, then people start asking about, when you come out with a binocular and watch some birds in the tree, then few people come in, they surround you, they say, oh, you are watching birds, oh, you are a bird lover, good, good. So now you start developing a rapport in your neighborhood that you are a birdman. So that gives you certain edges over others. It helps you to treasure a moment. It gives you some treasure. Suppose you watch the bird. I remember 5 years back there was a cyclone called Phylline. It had hit Orissa. Everybody must be knowing. So after the cyclone was calmed down, next day we are the birding people. We have something in our mind. When there is a big water in the river, we go. So we went to, next day morning. The rain had not stopped. We went to see Mahanadi, river Mahanadi and Munduli. All of a sudden we found there are two birds. They're floating on the river, and we found those birds are unnatural. I mean, unnatural means those are not seen in our locality. So with help of our binocular we found, and with help of our camera, one of my friend, he was carrying his camera, so he clicked that bird, and we came back in the evening, and we found it is a long-tailed skua. Long-tailed skua remains in the Atlantic. Long-tailed skua remains remains in the islands of No Man's Island of Andaman, Nicobar, and all. So that long-tailed skua that has come all the way from that area, it has come to our river Mahanadi, and it was, trust me, it was there for 2 days. All the borders of Cuttack and Bhubaneswar, even few from rest part of the Orissa, they came in, they clicked those birds, and they that was reported to various places across the world, and that helped us to treasure a moment that we found a bird, international bird. We found a bird which lives in the sea, in the ocean. It has come away. So that's what I am talking about. It helps you to treasure a moment. It provides you with opportunities to meet someone. Yes, I met you all guys. You all, my friends, I met you now. It gave me the opportunity because I know something about birds. So that gave me the opportunity to meet all of you, isn't it? So it provides you this with opportunity to meet someone. It makes you politically active. Oh, really? It makes you politically active. How it's going to make you politically active? That means whenever you talk about bird, so you talk about many things. You talk about conservation, you talk about nature, you talk about wildlife, you talk about the policy of government. So you gradually get into that politics. It's not wrong, but you make yourself stand between few people who discuss about the policies. So you are going to do, it makes you politically active. Finally, it can save your life. Yes, it can save your life. How it can save your life? Many things happen, many instances happen where people have stuck off inside the sea and they found a bird which is a shore bird, and they found the direction, they followed that bird, they came to the shore. So that kind of life-saving instances might also happen to anybody who is lost in the wilderness. They can see some behavior of the bird and they can adopt that one. That is important. And now coming to let us find what we know about the birds in our surrounding. See, the bird starts. You should start from watching it from your surrounding. It starts from your surrounding. You have your backyard, you got trees, you got plants, you got saplings, everything. So now you have got small birds in your surrounding, you got many kind of birds. So you should start watching birds if you are really interested. If you start watching birds in our surrounding. Now, people, you'll have to find out the difference between these two. If you know this bird, you'll have to find out the bird and you'll have to text me. What are these birds? Since this is one-way traffic, I cannot, see your replies and all. If somebody knows, you can open your microphone and reply me. What are these birds? If you can identify this. So that's why I have met Pehchan Cone. Well, I'll tell you this is on your left hand side. This is a quail, coeli in Odia. It's a quail. It's a male quail, and on your right hand side, it's a female quail. So it looks completely different. Two kind of birds, two type of birds. The person who doesn't know, they will be thinking that, oh, really, there are two bird species, two kind of birds. So this is one male and one female. And trust me, in animal and plant world, in animal world, in particularly in ornithology, in birds, all the male birds are beautiful. And God has made them attractive. I don't say they are beautiful. God has made them attractive with respect to the female counterpart. Like the peacock and peahen. Peacock has got a long tail, beautiful long tail. But peahen is little, dark. Okay. So how do you start knowing your neighbors? When you reach a new place? This is I'm getting into the bird identification. How to identify your birds? So how do you start knowing your neighbors when you reach a new place? So whenever suppose our parents got transferred and we went to a new place and we found a new locality, there we started living and we start asking about, अरे वो बगल वाला आंटी, अरे वो जो अंकल है ना, मोटा सा अंकल आते हैं. So we say like that. अरे वो जो छोटा सा नटा सा आदमी आता है ना, वो जो दूध लेके आता है नटा सा आदमी. So we give a example. We give example of the physiology of the body shape of our people in the surrounding to identify them. So likewise, identify the bird from the shellot. So these are the kind of birds. These are the type of birds which you can identify from the shellot. So on your left hand side, anybody can say this. This is a crow, cow, and the center one is a pigeon, and the right side smaller one is a robin. And this is, anybody can identify. This is a bogo, egret. We call it in ornithology, it is called egrets. Odia rame bogoku, left hand side. And the center one is a kite or eagle. It's a kite or eagle because we'll have to be further zero down to whether it's a kite or it's a eagle. But the shape is like a kite or eagle. And on the right hand side, it's a vulture. So these are the kind of birds which you just blindly you can recognize. So now we pay attention to the following. What do we find in the birds? We find the body shape, proportion of the head, legs and wings. We find the tail shape, shape of the tail. I'll just come to that. These are all supposed to be boring to you, but I'll come to some. I'll show you some photographs so that it will be interesting. Length of the bell and sitting posture. So now we'll come to this. Just see tail, shape of the tail. So on your left hand side, this one has got a fork-shaped tail. If tail is like a fork, like the spoon we use, this is a kind of fork. So this is a fork-shaped. Whenever you see a big bird flying on overhead with a fork-shaped tail, you just get it confirmed that it's a black kite, matia chilo, ba goda chilo, poria kite. And the second photo, here you can see a wave shape. It's like a wave. It's like a wave. Like, we have our dogs, they swim in the water. The feet of the dogs, there's a wave shape. So this is kind of wave shape. So anything wave shape is not a black kite. It is something different. It might be a, this is the photo of a Brahmini kite. Jota mein Shankha chilo boli ko. And on the third is definitely it's a peacock. The shape of the tail shows what bird is. And fourth is it's a swallow. You might be seeing a lot of birds, small birds fly in the evening on the sky, and they have got this kind of tail. This is a swallow. And this is the royal bird. This is available in our Bhubaneswar. This is called paradise flycatcher. You got this tail in the during their mating season. During their breeding season, this tail comes out. This is a male bird. So this is paradise flycatcher. This is a beautiful bird. Everybody would like to take photo of this bird. So now I'm going to the tips for bird watching. So what you should do, if you start bird watching, to start bird watching, what you should do first? You should go, first of all, you should find a little time to watch your birds. You should come out of your house. You should go to a place, sit quietly and see what kind of birds are there. Listen to them, listen to their noise, look at the particular area where the noise is coming from and see what kind of bird it is. Avoid wearing bright colored clothes. Go for natural or darker shades. The photograph on your right hand side, you must be recognizing me. I'm the guy who is taking a photo of a Chinese pond heron. This photo was clicked by one of my friends at Mangala Jodi. I was taking a photograph of a Chinese pond heron. So you can see my attire at the time of bird watching. It's completely camouflaging with the surrounding. So you should wear dress which is forest friendly, which is surrounding friendly. Suppose I am watching a bird being at Sahara Desert, in a desert. So if I wear something black or something like that, I'll be identified by the bird. Bird can see me. So I should wear khaki. So it will match to the surrounding. If I am watching a bird being at Himalayas, upper Himalayas, so there are also birds. On the snow surface, if I am watching some birds, I should also match my dress code with the surrounding. So that is the first tip, that you should put on a dress, put on a attire which should be friendly to the birds. Tips for bird watching second. Get a lightweight binocular. Choose a lens with a wide field of view is ideal. You should have a binocular. If you want to start bird watching, you should have a binocular. Fix your eyes with the binocular and see the birds, so that you can closely see the birds. Even if you see, trust me, if you see our pigeon, para boschi am ghar balcony re, if you see the pigeon through a binocular, how beautiful it is, you can know. Even our common moina, jota ki hame boni koche, boni. If you see a bunny, if you see a common moina from through your binocular, you will find how beautiful it is. So now avoid sudden jerky movements. They startle the birds, ending with the birds flying away. try to swing your binocular slowly. The closer you approach a bird, the quicker you should be. You should not make a hurry. You should have enough of patience to watch a bird. If you can see a photograph, two of us, I am on the left hand side and right hand side, one of my friend. This is at Chilka, Nalavan. We had, you can see at a distance, there is a small whitish substances. Those are all flamingos. So flamingos, they can see you from a distance. And if you going to take a photograph with a big lens, which is not camouflaged, so they will fly away. So you need to have patience. You need to sit quietly. You need to lay down. You need to kneel down. And then you watch a bird through a binocular, watch their behavior, and take photo. Tips for bird watching: go early in the morning. Most birds come out during sunlight. What happens? Birds, they get off the very moment when the first daylight touches the ground. They get up and they start, chirping, and they start feeding also, because whole night they remain fasting. So they start feeding. So when feeding time comes, they become more active. So you will find lot of birds at the first sunlight. So this is a photo taken by me at Bhitarkanika during one of the bird watching, the bird census, during one of the bird census. This is on a creek. So by the time sun is up, we are there inside the creek. That means we have started at least half an hour before that. We walked around 2 kilometers and reached over there. So you need to be very sincere if you want to start bird watching. You need to get up in the morning so that you can watch birds. Get a bird guide. Bird guides are small booklets. There are 2 bird guides available. I mean, there are so many bird guides, but these are very relevant bird guides available. This is written by Team Inskip, Carol Inskip and Team Inskip, and our Dr. Salim Ali. In fact, we started 30 years back. We started reading this book, the Book of Indian Birds by Dr. Salim Ali. After that, Team Inskip has come very recently, maybe 5-7 years back. They have published this book, and now this book has taken over the books of Dr. Salim Ali, because they have changed the name of the species and all. So many bird names have been changed. So you can refer these birds of Indian subcontinent. Guys, you can write it down, write this name, or else you can text me, I can send you the details. So these are a very lovely book. Every bird watcher who starts bird watching, they should have this book. Have a notepad. We should have a notepad. Whenever you are going for the bird watching, you should have a notepad. So what happens, 30 years back, we didn't have a binocular. Neither we have a camera. So we used to take a binocular on rent, or we take a binocular on loan and watch birds and make a picture. So we didn't have a camera to capture the bird. So we make a picture like this. On your right hand side, you can see a bird with various body parts. It has got a crown, head, nape, back, rump, tail, upper tail coverts, nostril, upper beak, lower beak, throat, breast, wing, side, belly, thigh, leg. So in birds, when to identify a bird, you need all these are the location where the color, the pattern, fur, feather changes. So accordingly, we identify the bird based on the these body parts. I mean, the color of the body parts, the size, shape of the body parts, the size of the body parts, like that. So you need to draw a picture and find out. Suppose you watched a crow, so you need to make a bird and make it black. So and come back, match your book and see that is a crow. So likewise, you can find other birds. Bird watching is all about having patience. Wait for birds to arrive patiently. As beautiful flocks come out only at the right time and weather. Every steady step in birding will give a cherishable experience. you need to have patience. Once we in Bhitarkanika, to watch a bird, to watch a kingfisher, we wait for long hours, for 5 hours, 6 hours. Then we find a kingfisher and click it. So you need to have patience. So likewise, you develop patience. So bird watching helps you to gather patience also. So in your study, you'll find that you are having patience. In your career, you will find that you are having patience. And to listening somebody like you are listening to me, you are also having patience. So you need to have patience to watch bird. Okay. So this is something written by Dr. Salim Ali. I don't have much slide. Don't worry for that. I don't have much slide. I'll just finish it another maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So this is written by Dr. Salim Ali. My chief interest in bird study has always been its ecology, its life history under natural conditions and not in a laboratory under a microscope. So he doesn't believe in studying a bird under microscope. He travels extensively. He had come to Orissa also. He had come to Bhitarkanika also. By traveling to these remote, uninhabited places, I could study the birds as they lived and behaved in their habitats. So this is written by the great Dr. Salim Ali, the bad man of India, bird man of India. So not bad man, it's a bird man of India. So he believes in getting a bird, seeing a bird in the field, seeing its behavior pattern, where he lives, how he does a nest, how he mates, how he gives a courtship display. So these are the things Dr. Salim Ali studies, and as well as all birders, every bird watcher should follow this habit. They should watch a bird very keenly and find out the behavior pattern of the bird, not only to identify a bird and forget. So these are the few things which I have given from out of my experience, what you should be, basic attitude for bird watching, what attitude you should have. So charity begins at home. To start bird watching, start it with your surrounding. First, you should start it in your surrounding. Your backyard garden must be having at least 10 species of birds, everybody. You look around yourself, you'll find birds. I can name it. You can see a crow, you can see a myna, bunny, you can see pigeon, you can see drongo, kajolpati, you can see oriole, haldi basanta, you can see many birds. So likewise, I told you 5, 7, 6 species. You can see robin, you can see magpie robin. Those hop and stay, hop in your garden, small birds with a tail upward. So these are the photographs of the pigeon. You know, see, these photographs have been taken by me. There's a courtship display of a pigeon. You can see this. Choose a mentor. What does it mean by? Choose a mentor having sound knowledge on birds. You should look for a mentor who should identify birds for you. In any difficulties, contact him over identification of a bird. So if you see a bird and you match, initially you cannot find it in your book. So what you will do, you will take a photo with help of your camera maybe, or with help of a mobile phone, and send it to your mentor whom you select and ask him or her, what bird is this? Bas mujhe bird bata do, kya hai ye? So here she will say you, okay, this is a drongo. This is called drongo. I might be knowing it's a kajolpati, but if I click it and send it to a birder, he will say this is a drongo. It's a black drongo. There are 3 to 4 types of drongos are there. Acid drongo, those are all 4 types of drongos are there. Spangled drongo. So if you click a photo and send it to your friend, send it to your mentor, here we can identify for you. So you can see this photograph. This is called Dr. Behra and Dr. Naik, they can tell you better. This is called commensalism. I mean, this cattle egret is sitting on the buffalo of Chilka. This is a special. This is a very important important animal of Chilka ecology. So it is sitting on the buffalo, and buffalo is swimming. So the insects are getting scattered, and this bird is taking those insects. So these buffaloes, just to tell you about these buffaloes are in hundreds, in thousands in the entire Chilka Lake. They go in the evening, they spend whole night, whole day, and come back after 2 days. And if these buffaloes, they don't survive in the Chilka, then Chilka would die within next 2 years. So this is very important species of animal to Chilka. You can Google it and you can find more than that, more about it. Okay. Generally, after we know little on any subject, we show attitude, arrogance, and get overconfidence and do mistake in identification. See, I will just give you an instance. Even we also do that mistake at this age. I am at my 50s. So at this age also we get arrogance, we do mistake, getting overconfidence. Somebody in one of the group posted a photo of a bird which has had injury in its leg. So to everybody said, what is this bird? How to help this bird? So I found this bird is similar to a particular bird. It looks like a darter. It's a kind of bird which belong to egret herons family. So I found it's a kind of darter. But one of my another friend, he insisted, no, this is a black beetle. So there is a similarity between a darter and black beetle. So what I did, I became arrogance. I showed my attitude. For in last 30 years of identification bird, somebody is saying, no, this is darter. So this is kind of arrogance and ego we should not have. So that makes you overconfident to lose the identity of a bird. And you can see this bird on your right hand side. This was photographed by me. This is called crested serpent eagle. This is a very indicator species. This is called indicator species. They live in dense forest area and they live on snakes. They live on snakes. So this is called crested serpent eagle. They also live on various other animals, mammals and all. But particularly wherever snakes are found, they are found in numbers. Yeah, Dr. Salim Ali says, unless you catch a bird on your hand and look so closely, don't confirm which bird it is. Just rightly I said now that to find out what kind of bird it is, you need to catch it in your hand. But now that thing has gone because we have very good cameras with big lenses and all. We can take photograph of a bird very closely. Even a small tick on the surface of the bird body can be identified. So we need not catch a bird. But again, unless we photograph a bird and we see it closely, we cannot get confirm what kind of bird it is. So that is again a part of modesty. You should always think that you do not know anything. You'll have to study, you'll have to read. So study the behavior of birds. There are so many behavior like what I found. The cattle egrets. Cattle egret goads the cow. Like that I showed you a photo where the buffaloes are swimming. So like that you'll find cattle egrets, bogo. Gai pache bogo padiare bule. Why? Because and at times it goads the cow. Gai godore jaikiri se thonto mare. The guy agoku chal, palace insects will be deflected and I will go and catch the insects. So that is a behavior of a cow, behavior of a bird. Docile birds like oriole, moina, pied, this is very important. Docile birds like oriole, haldi basanda, moina, boni, pied moina, jota ame guo kalika boli ko. एमाने समस्ते these all birds they do a nest where drongo जोटी कजलपाती nest करिथिबो गछरे बड़ बर गछ होइथिबो ओस्त गछ होइथिबो these birds also do a nest. Why? You know, the drongo is known as the most aggressive bird, and it can fight with eagles, it can fight with kites, it can fight with snakes. And so it drongo behaves like a security guard of that tree. So these all birds they do nest, and drongo keep an eye on the entire area. Whenever there are predators, whenever there are aggressive birds, snakes, monkeys, they come, the drongo gets them away. Bhagai diye tangu mari ke. Whimbrel takes the residual flesh from a gap of the teeth or jaw of a saltwater crocodile. These are all my observation. Whimbrel, there is a bird. It's a Mongolian bird. They come in migration. During migration, they come to various places. They come to Bhitarkanika also. And it is seen that whimbrel going near the crocodile and taking flesh. Tab danta bhitor jo mangso jami thibo, they take the flesh from the crocodile's teeth. Crocodile aangeri padithibo em. So se neikri taku khai de. Little terns get guided by the dolphins for density of fish in a particular location. You will find this in Chilka. Wherever there are dolphin surfaces, your terns they come in. So they follow the dolphins, so that dolphins joti thibo mane seti macho asibo. Macho pakhoku dolphin jibo ebong drongo little terns they follow the dolphins. They go the surface, they circulate, they fly above the head, and they come and pick up the fishes. River tern protect the nest of Indian skimmer from aggressive birds. This is my exclusive study on skimmers, Indian skimmer. River tern, it's a bird. This is also very aggressive bird. They protect the nest of Indian skimmer. Indian skimmer kuti basa kare. They don't do nest like crows and all. What do they do? They make a sand base and they lay eggs during hot summer when the temperature soar at 40-42 degrees centigrade. And the Indian skimmers are only limited to Mahanadi, river Mahanadi in Odisha. So they do nest on the Mahanadi jo patha achi, sand dunes achi, se patha upare semane nest karanti in during hot summer, and before rain their chicks come out and they fly back. So river terns they save the nest of Indian skimmer from all aggressive birds. Well, something to show about me. The front one, the person is my Gurudev. He is Dr. UN Dev. He is the king of Sankhemdi, and he is still living. God has given him, life. He still lives. And Dr. UN Dev. And next one is the one avid bird watcher of Orissa. He is Geher Avedin. And third one is he is Mr. Bij Kishore Dev. Fourth one I don't remember, and the fifth one is me. This is the photo taken 30 years back somewhere in Fulbani on a birding trip. We had gone there on a birding trip. So this is one of the photo. Swati, am I having time? Am I audible, Swati?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Another 5-10 minutes will do.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Is it interesting to others? I don't know. I can see
it is, sir.
Yeah. I'll just take another 5 minutes. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll just tell you the story of a baya, the weaver bird. This is my observation only, so that will be interesting. This is a nest of a baya, the weaver. Baya chadhiku. Why it is interesting? Because baya weaver, they do the nest. The nest is done by the male baya. A male bird, they do the nest, and they do to the proper, they do it with their utmost care, so that the nest will be appreciable by their female counterpart. And you can see the female, it is watching the nest. This is the male doing the nest, and this is the female watching the nest. And after that, the male bird calls the female bird to watch the nest. That comes and that inspects the nest. The female bird inspects the nest, and if this bird find it good, Yes, we can live together. We can make our family. So then they allow the male bird to mate. They do lovemaking and then they live on that nest. If this doesn't happen, if the nest is not good, then the male bird is driven away by the female bird. That nest remains half. You'll find many nests remain half, hanging on the trees and the tall trees. Those are all done by incapable male buyers. This is a lovely story. These photographs all have been taken by me, and you see the time involved in taking all these photos and watching the birds. This makes you interesting. This makes you interesting to know about the birds, how they behave, how differently they behave. They got two wings, and they can fly. And some of the photographs I can just show you if you permit me from my archives.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a gray heron. There's a migratory species. Height is almost 4 feet, and it comes all the way from Turkey, Mongolia, that places, and fly high above the mountains and reach here in our Odisha. Though people know that Bogo, so this is a gray heron. This is the same bunny which is taken by me. You can see how beautiful it is. This is a pied kingfisher. Sabu loko janchanti amo gang under samaste. Everybody knows that this is a kingfisher, but nobody knows how it from where it comes. This comes all the way from Korea, China. They come on the particular time during rain season, and they do nest. They do and they go back in this after this summer. So these are the birds. This is called Indian skimmer. It skims the water. You can see there it has got two long, bills. Thonta tar ochi. Tala thonta lamba, upper thonta choto. So it skims the water and takes the fish. It's a lovely photograph. This interaction between two Himalayan sparrow. They're talking to each other. You know, they're fighting. This is a trivia. They're fighting. So I'm showing some Indian skimmers, which is a bird of importance for Orissa, because only we have got 65 or 70 birds. One of your senior, Dr. Subrat Devta. Subrat is a good friend of mine. He's younger brother to me. And Dr. Subrat Devta, he does a lot of research on this. And I was fortunate to take almost 10,000 photographs of Indian skimmers, being very close. So this is Indian skimmer. You can see the lower mandible the thonta, tala thonta ta kete lamba taro. See thonta ta ko se pani re budeikiri, it plows the water like holo kala bhali pani ko holo kare, and pieces come inside its mouth. This is a courtship display right from the nesting place. Very few people could reach the nesting place. So I was one of them. I was fortunate to reach there. So we have taken very close on eye level shot. These are the acrobats done by those skimmers. Only there are 60, 65, 70 skimmers left in Orissa. Maybe maximum to a tune of hundreds. So they only live on the river Mahanadi. And you can find the few of them in the in Chambal. You don't find anywhere. These are the beautiful acrobat done by the Indian skimmer. They skim the water in the evening and early in the morning. Daytime they take rest and they do the feeding during evening and morning. Thank you very much. I will not take further much time. This is my WhatsApp number, and you can find my mail ID. If you have any doubt, anything related to birds, habitat, to identification of bird, you can send me, you can text me, you can mail me. My young friends, there are so many there, I have seen. Please get the interest of birds. This will help in your career also. And this will help, since you are from forestry, This will help you to stand tall in front of your bosses, future bosses. So they will also appreciate you that yes, there is a forestry guy who knows about birds. There are few people in our forest friends, I mean in the department, they know about birds. So you can get to know about birds with help of many people like us. So do WhatsApp me whenever you find some bird and send me the photo. I will try to return, send you back the detail of the bird. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. This was really engrossing. I don't think my mere words will be enough to express my gratitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar Behra, being very patient to me. And I think I have taken all of your time. Thank you very much.
No,
sir.
that's fine.